Good afternoon and welcome to this edition of KTN Weekend at 1. My name is Betty Kialo. Kabete MP George Muchai, his two bodyguards and a driver were early this morning shot dead in cold blood at Kenyatta Avenue, Uhuru Highway roundabout in Nairobi. The four were driving in a Toyota Fortuner vehicle when a masked gunman shot them at close range in the wee hours of the morning. The deaths have shocked the nation, drawing condemnation from a cross-section of leaders.
Police reports indicate that the Kabete MP was trailed from Westlands by a white saloon car and was ambushed when his driver slowed down to allow him to buy newspapers at the General Post Office along Kenyatta Avenue. A masked gunman wielding an AK-47 rifle fired 4 shots at George Muchai's car, killing the driver first, the legislature, and the 2 of his bodyguards. The occupants died on the spot. Witnesses say when Muchai's car slowed down, the car trailing them hit their vehicle on the right side before pulling up in front of them. After firing the shots, the gunman proceeded to pick 2 pistols from the slain bodyguards and a briefcase that was in the car. Muchai's gun was found intact in his holster. The Kabete MP was a licensed firearm holder. A shaken and distraught Muchai's daughter, who was at the scene, says they were leaving Westlands from a family meeting, heading home, which lies along Kangundo Road. The daughter, Muchai's wife, and other 2 relatives were driving in a different saloon car ahead of the MPs. The family would witness the execution of the Kabete MP. Leaders led by Kiambu Senator Kimani Wamatangi have condemned the cold-blood murder of Muchai, his driver, and the 2 bodyguards.
Sisi tunataka hao watu waweze kuchunguzwa, watolewe mpaka tujue ni watu wagani. Kwa vile kwenye town kama Nairobi masaa hizo siku ya leo ni mahali ambapo kuna kuanga na watu wengi. Tuko na askari wamejaa hapo hiyo area ya Nyayo House.
We are asking the police to expedite the investigations. The scene where the deceased were shot is under the surveillance of CCTV controlled by Nairobi City County. So we hope the clips to be available to the investigators maybe by afternoon today.
We try to enhance the security of this country because we know that we have really lost 4 Kenyans just like that.
To call upon the government to step up the fight against crime and insecurity in the whole country.
The 4 bodies were transferred to the Lee Funeral Home as the president ordered the police to mobilize all the resources to apprehend the killers. The murder happened right in front of CCTV cameras. Samugina, KTN.
Court Secretary General Francis Atwoli says the murder of George Muchai was a shocking incident which must be thoroughly investigated. Muchai was the court's Deputy Secretary General before becoming the Kabete MP.
We are appealing to the Inspector General, the Acting Inspector General, and the Director of CID, and the Minister in charge of internal security to carry out thorough investigation in our brother's death and unearth who might have been behind this heinous act of removing Honorable George Muchai on public life and on public scene. It is so sad that George can lose his life at his prime age when both the Kabete people and the workers of this country still required his services. George has been a colleague, and at any time we had differences with George were healthy differences based on issues at hand and completely void of witch hunt or any malicious to his life.
We will have comprehensive coverage of this devastating incident in our subsequent bulletins. Moving on, residents of Gatundu town have complained about the foul smell emanating from Gatundu District Hospital mortuary. The hospital's management has admitted that the morgue facility is overstretched since it was designed to carry only 14 bodies. The Kiambu County government has attributed the foul smell to decomposing bodies that are brought to the facility by the police.
Gatundu District Hospital was opened in 1966 by the first president of Kenya, Jomo Kenyatta. In the recent days, the mortuary has been an environmental nuisance to residents.
Mortuary inanuka kukosa maji. I don't know wanatumia vitu gani, lakini kunanuka sana. Hata ukitoka kwa barabara nasikia watu bararamishi wanasema mortuary inanuka.
Tunataka hata kama ipanuliwe kidogo.
The Kiambu County government officials have explained why residents occasionally inhale foul smell from the morgue.
Gatundu District Hospital, just like any other public hospital, does not refuse to pick bodies from police. And therefore, when you receive a body from police, basically these bodies are usually quite decomposing because that's a body of a person who maybe passed away some few days ago.
Dr. Njuguna also says the morgue is overstretched since it was meant to preserve only 14 bodies.
On Thursday, the facility had 30 bodies, and therefore we had actually to refrigerate 14 and then embalm the rest.
What has been happening, that all the bodies coming within the mortuary, they embalmed first, where a chemical called formalin is inserted through the arteries, and this one helps to preserve the body, and the body doesn't actually need any refrigeration.
Residents of Gatundu have been advised to consider using thicker level 5 hospital mortuary, which has a capacity to accommodate 112 bodies.
We had 3 refrigeration machines in Gatundu. We have decommissioned 2 because they are quite inserviceable, and we're in the process of upgrading Gatundu District Hospital mortuary, having upgraded thicker level 5 mortuary to become a 112 body capacity.
The Kiambu County government says there are plans to expand the mortuary. Patrick Amimo, KTN.
As the world marked the International Zero Tolerance Day on female genital mutilation yesterday, women opinion leaders in West Pokot called on their counterparts in Samburu County to do all they can to end female circumcision. Although the Kenyan national event to mark the day was held in Samburu, there were parallel functions in other counties where the practice is common, among them Kajiado and West Pokot. The West Pokot women leaders said although for years they have been pushing their girls to go through the cut, they no longer see the need for the practice. Female circumcision is now illegal in Kenya and can land one in jail.
Thank you.
Kigumo Member of Parliament Jamlek Kamau has urged the government to give northeastern teachers allowances to motivate them before they resume their duties. Speaking in Kangari constituency, Kamau said it was unreasonable to force teachers to go back to Mandera, Wajir and Garissa counties where they know the terror activities were higher than other regions.
Solution to me would not be firing these teachers. The solution to me would be coming up with a solution, an amicable solution that is acceptable to both sides, the teachers and the TSC. Because as much as teachers can work in any place in this country, it is important for us to also guarantee their safety. I will not go to a place that I know I'm going to die if there is insecurity. If today you told me to go to Mogadishu or Kismayu before it was liberated, I don't think I would go. I don't think you would go either. Solution is not setting them by force. The solution is sitting down with them, negotiating and agreeing on the best way. There are teachers who actually would even be willing to go and work there. Perhaps even come up with an incentive for them, all right? Hardship allowances.
Muslim residents of Kakamega and Vihiga will now have access to justice administered from a newly opened Kadhi's court in Kakamega. Well, this is the first court of its kind in the area. The establishment of the court brings reprieve to many who either had their cases resolved by local imams or had to travel to Bungoma and Kisumu Kadhi's courts. Speaking at during the opening of the court, High Court Judge said Chitembwe, he said the court will help bring down the number of cases waiting for resolution at local courts by allowing Muslims to approach the Kadhi's court for arbitration.
Hii koti itasaidia upande huu, kwanza itasavu Kakamega na Vihiga County, si Kakamega peke yake. Na nafikiri hiyo area iko na Waislamu wasiopungua nusu milioni, hizo kaunti mbili tuki-combine. Kwa hivyo itasaidia kupunguza backlog kwa High Court, hasa kwa kesi za urathi.
Koti kumewapa afueni Waislamu kwa sababu kwa muda mrefu walikuwa wamekaa bila koti hii. Na mara nyingi mtu alikuwa anatoka hapa ima aende Kisumu au Bungoma, na ni gharama pia.
Former presidential aspirant and now Kenya leader Martha Karua has this morning flagged off a cancer awareness walk at the Nyayo Stadium here in Nairobi. The walk, which covered Bunyala Road through South Sea and back to the stadium, was organized by the Zambezi Hospital. It was meant to create awareness on the disease. Karua said there was need for Kenyans to seek early diagnosis and to take advantage of the ongoing efforts to avail cancer care services in hospitals around the country.
The flag. Relentless to fight cancer. Early detection.
There are more people dying of cancer everywhere. But the difference between us and the developed countries, where the detection is early and where access to medical services is better than here, is that when detected early, life can be prolonged and cancer sometimes can actually be cured. So we need awareness, and we also need access to health services.
The most important thing for cancer is the screening. It is early detection. It is early screening, because once you are detected with cancer early enough, cancer will be treated and be very easy to get cured.
The National Police Service Commission Chairman Johnstone Kavuludi has reacted sharply to proposals by MP Asmam Kamama to lower grades for admission to the police service. Speaking on the sidelines of the ongoing police vetting in Mombasa, Kavuludi argued that reducing academic qualifications would jeopardize efforts to professionalize the police department.
We'll evaluate it, but definitely not KCP. We have enough Kenyans with good education throughout the country. Our minimum should be the kind of minimum that is also applicable in other sectors. Police officers, being officers of the law, need to be men and women with good education, men and women who can confront situations and be very analytical about the manner in which they're doing it. So education remains important. We are not expecting people who hold high degrees or very high performance, but they are welcome, because the National Police Service is as good a segment in our public administration as any other. So we will not lower it to a point that is so low as to ridicule the profession, because we also believe that the police officers themselves, in a bid to enjoy esteem and the confidence of the public, should be seen to be men and women of good learning.
So in other words, you are supporting.
That's where we wind up things here on KTN Weekend at 1. Thank you very much for watching. John Olanamu is up next with Africa Speaks. Stay tuned.